Hi there, I'm Alan Barrell. Are you a member of a team, or are you trying to build a team? Teams get things done, don't they? We all have to work with other people, whether we are starting a company, whether we're running a company, whether we're running a department, or whether we're running a research project, whether we're running a family even. That's a team, or it ought to be. They're not all teams, I know, but most hopefully are. So, how are we going to approach this subject of working with each other and building teams? Now, we know that no one's perfect, and this is not a picture of my grandfather. He was not quite as handsome as that, I'm sorry to say. We are all different. We all have strengths and weaknesses, and I'd like you all to think about yourselves and think about other people as I'm talking you through some of my ideas. Let's have a look inside at ourselves and at others and think how best we can work together. If you are sitting with members of your team, think about each other and think about yourself now. And let's remember that we are all part of a great team. We're all part of the world's great family, and we're living in a world of opportunity. And hopefully, if we're attempting to build a team, we're building it with optimism because we want to make the world a better place. I think we all ought to be trying to make the world a world without borders and cross barriers, and do education without borders, and think about business without borders. Something of great importance is that diversity of cultures and skills is so important if we learn how to manage and nurture it. Culture and skills, people. So, our personalities are a mix of skills. We are all different. Not any one of us has all the skills needed to run a company. So understanding other people is a very valuable activity. And expressing ourselves needs adjusting for the audience. Presentations are for the audience, not to show off how clever we are. And in all good business practice, relationships are right at the heart of it. Don't forget, also, listening is sometimes much more important than speaking. Trust, what a wonderful word. Trust in others and wisdom, accumulated knowledge, are very important for effective leadership. And leadership is very important, and also a word not shown here, followership. Leaders need great followers. And teamwork happens when people really make the big effort and enjoy a balance of skills. Now, a very clever industrial psychologist called Meredith Belbin wrote a lot about our personality, and he said we all contain 9 different roles, 9 different personality types, and in each one of us, one of those types or 2 will be predominant. And I want you, as I talk to you about the Belbin personality types, to think of which you might be, and you won't just be one. Are you a plant? Do you go in the shower every morning and have 100 new ideas? Do you come forth with an enormous amount of creativity? I had a chairman who was a plant for a while. He came in every day and said, I had 10 new ideas in the shower today. I got so tired of this that I actually thought of phoning his water company and getting the water turned off so he couldn't have 10 new ideas tomorrow. But seriously, some people are full of ideas. Now, maybe you're much more of a shaper. You listen and you take the idea and you help the idea person shape it, and you help other people implement it. Then we have the specialist, the guy that knows everything about computer science or genetics or quantum cryptography. They can be boring, but we know we need them in some of our teams. Specialists are important. The coordinator. I spent much of my life bringing together people to make peace and to make things happen in a proper way. Sometimes it's not all smiles and you have to knock those heads together. But the coordinator's role, any coordinators listening to this? Put your hands up if you're in a group and you're a coordinator. Then we need the completer, finisher. The person who really makes sure that everything is done and dusted at the end of the day and the product is ready for the customer. A story for you. I once became the chairman of a software company that was losing money very, very rapidly. On a turnover of 4 million, it was losing £700,000 a year. 50 people doing software. When I looked into why, I found that it only had big customers, big retail customers, who wanted special software for their use in their company. And the contracts were never completed. And the customers were saying, well, you haven't actually produced what we really wanted. And we did a bell-bin analysis, and you can do a proper analysis of these bell-bin skills. And you know what we found? In a company of 50 people, we didn't have a single completer finisher. Everyone was a plant. They all had great ideas every morning. Completer finishers are very, very important. Then there is the implementer. Are you an implementer? Do you really feel fulfilled when you've got your hands on the machine and you're making things happen? Probably through other people. Implementers are very important. Then we come to the monitor, evaluator, the person who can look like, a terrible little gnome in the hole who is miserable and always points, when you bring him a financial analysis, to the things that are wrong. The monitor evaluator. Why haven't you done this? Why did you spend that? But we need them, especially if we are the plant and we want to be out there every day having new ideas. We need people to say, hey, just a moment, if you go on that way, we will run out of money in 3 months. So we need monitor evaluators. And then we need people who go and find out things that the team needs. Some of you love to get onto that computer with your fingers on the keyboard. You're onto the internet, you're finding things out, you're learning all the time. You are a real resource investigator. And we need those. And in these teams that we're talking about, we need a balance of those skills. And most of all, we need the mindset of the team worker. Are you a team worker? I hope you've been thinking, as I've been talking, which of the personality types you mostly are. And if you are in a team, whether you think there is a good balance of skills in that team, because it's a very important aspect of team building. So, to wrap it all up, making the best and most of each team member, understand your skills and the skills of others and shortcomings, listen, have a leader. Leadership can move. During a project, leadership can move to one person to another, but be clear who the leader is at all times. Honest and open debate, which lead to disagreements, can move you away from what might be a bad idea into a better way. And mistakes are about learning. Failure is not failure if you learn how to do it better. And changing the plan is not admitting we have been wrong. And don't forget, why not people and great teams build great companies? Here's something a very great man, Thomas Edison, said. He invented the electric light bulb. It took him 30 years. 30 years! And when people said, what the hell have you been doing? He said this, I have not failed. I just found 10,000 ways that didn't work. Take that as a lesson that failure is learning. So go away and build great teams, and thank you so much for listening.